Hi there, my name's Gurnam and I'm from Clapham. Yeah, I started losing my hair at the age of about 27, 28. I used to have a real crop, like an army cut, and then it just started to recede more and more. And in the last 6 years, it started to recede down the back. So I was having to cut my hair shorter and take it higher to the point now where it's just completely thinned out at the front and the widow's peak has just gone. It's interesting because a lot of people say, oh, it hits people and they get depressed. I mean, I kind of managed it for quite a while. I'm a gay man, so the great thing about being a gay man is that having short hair and cropped hair is fairly much the norm, or it's accepted, and it's quite a good look. It's quite a fashionable look. So I managed it as far as I could, but it's now getting to the point where I'm catching myself in mirrors and it just doesn't work anymore. So over the last 3 to 4 years, I've started to wear a cap more, which I don't like because I like to cycle. So that doesn't help because you start to sweat. You can break out in spots. A lot of things. So it's not good mental health. It's not good physical health. I've been looking at ways of getting my hair done. I actually went to a place about 3 years ago, and they convinced me that what they did was they shaved the hair at the sides and they put what they didn't describe as, but what became a wig. So I literally wore that for 2 hours and I got a refund. I had to work hard for that, but I got a refund. It was a nightmare. It just looked pathetic. And there's no point getting something that doesn't look natural. So when I was Googling hair transplants, I came across his clinic, which was quite concerned and about people having hair transplant. And I had a look at some of the pictures, and there's a hell of a lot of scarring. There's also the fact that if you do get a hair transplant, the hair follicles can die in time, and then therefore wherever the transplants are, you may have patchy hair, and on top of that, your hair is receding naturally anyway. So I then looked at his clinic's process, the method, and it looks very, very interesting. It looks stylish. It's very short and cropped. I don't want a mass of hair because anybody who knows me, it's too much of a sudden change. So for me, and as a gay man again, what really works out, I know we're perceived as very loud, but what really works out is when it's very subtle. And tattooing at a very short crop is very subtle, and the great thing about it is that if you want to change it or you want to top it up, the process isn't that difficult. Whereas with transplants, it's more scarring, it's more cutting up, it's more taking hair follicles, it's much more surgery. It's the unknown. So of course I'm going to have, is it going to work right? Am I going to look like a plum? There's always those kind of questions, but I tend to generally research anything I'm going to commit to and then become passionate about it. So I know when I do see the chap who's going to do it, I'm going to be very clear on what I would like, and now that coupled with his experience will get to where I need to get to with my haircut. I'm thinking of just getting a kind of cut there and having it a bit more tapered, because I think if it's going to be too rigid, it's going to catch the eye. If it's slightly more tapered and it's a bit rough with the cuts, so it's just a kind of bit blander there and heavier elsewhere, it then kind of looks more natural because hair grows in different ways, and it detracts from being perfect. When something's too perfect, people catch. When it's much more subtle, you blend in much more easier. So that's the look what I'm going for. So I have a bit of apprehension, but not much. I wouldn't do it otherwise. One of the great things I found when I came for my consultation was that I've got scarring on the top of my head, and when they actually will do the treatment, they can actually cover the scar itself. So cosmetically, that scar will no longer be visible. I don't believe in second chances. You get one life, and I like to attempt to be the best that I can be. I hate wearing caps. I'd like wearing them if it's a fashion accessory, not a necessity. So I like to have the freedom of my sculpt, getting natural hair, getting the look I want, and then you take away so much other stuff. I mean, it doesn't affect my self-esteem that much, but I know it can affect a lot of people's self-esteem That's why the industry is as big as it is. But I know for me, it will just work in complete synchronicity with who I am and what my goals are in life. And it's a simple task, it's a simple procedure, it doesn't take too long. Once you've had I think it's a couple of sessions, the first session you'll wait about a week and you get the second session, and then you're done. You know, it's simple, it's manageable, and you carry on with life, and you get the look you want. And you know, and that whole kind of waking up and looking in mirrors or having to look at this and you can't wear this because it doesn't work with that car, it all goes away, you know, for a small amount of money, you know, to alleviate all of that stress and that kind of headspace that you don't really need to entertain. I can be focusing on so much other stuff. So that in itself is priceless, and that's what I'm hoping to attain, as well as getting even better looking, if that's possible.